it is my honor to introduce, we have an awesome speaker this morning. Reverend Mark Accomando is an ordained senior minister with the Centers for Spiritual Living. He has formerly served as a director of the CSL Spiritual Community in Raleigh, North Carolina, assistant staff minister in Chicago, and as a director of youth and family ministers at CSL Palm Desert. In 2011, Reverend Mark founded his CSL Focus Ministry, Evoke Peace Now, to serve in addiction recovery and in the community at large. He has shared empowering practical messages and spiritual practices at spiritual communities around the country. He regularly speaks about following your heart's deepest passion through practical spiritual practices, principles, and insights that lead to a fully expressed life. Reverend Mark developed spiritual education curriculum using simple ancient practices and spiritual principles combined with emerging evidence-based addiction recovery practices. He supports people in developing spiritual practices that have been proven to help those in addiction recovery and finding a connection with their inner wisdom and higher power. Mark coaches and guides people in regaining purpose, inner peace, and self-confidence while supporting them in having a greater ability to handle life challenges and living a fulfilling life. Please give us a big welcome.
Well, what a beautiful spiritual community this is. You know, I got here a little early, and what a beautiful park you have right here. Right? It's in my car, and I kind of bring things together. And I drove over here a little early, and there was nobody here. I said, okay. Well, I just went down to the Starbucks, grabbed a cup of coffee, and I don't know. It was about a little after 9, and the parking lot was full of people, full of cars. Like, it was like nobody there, and then all of a sudden it was full up. I'm like, wow, this is, you know, you can see this is a working spiritual community here, you know, and it's just nice to see that how everything was just coming together. And when I look out here and hear what you guys are doing, and I ran into Jessica, who's running the youth program. We used to do teen camps together years ago. And she asked, how come I don't do teen camps anymore? And I'm like, well, my life's gone some direction, and, you know. But you know, you gotta listen to those invitations. They come, why aren't you doing teen camps anymore? You know, that little invitation. You know, I just don't know where they're coming from, you know. But I love the way Frank said, wake up. Did you do that every week? But isn't that the truth, right? Isn't that what we're doing here? We're waking up. But we're waking up to what it really is, aren't we? You know? And I was kind of thinking about that. I was thinking about it as I was driving around, getting ready, coming here, and you know, I stopped at the Starbucks, and I saw Deepak Chopra last night speak in Palm Springs, and he did quite an amazing presentation on that wholeness. What is your true self? Who's your true self? And it turns out that that's what my talk is about today. So I don't know. Maybe Deepak must have got my notes. But anyway, he was talking about this awareness. And our theme for this month is about self-awareness. Centers for Spiritual Living around the country, around the world. Talking about self-awareness. And, you know, what really is self-awareness? Is an interesting question to ask oneself. You know, and I think that's what we're learning here in Science of Mind in our teachings is about self-awareness. This is true. Yeah. Yeah, we're really learning how to discover ourselves. The awareness is that light of who we are. That light of who we are, and who we are becoming. Right? And I think there's stages of self-awareness. You notice that? Like I think that it takes some time for us to, you know, like what Deepak was saying yesterday, we're born into this world, And we're told what to believe, what not to believe, who you are, who you're not, who you should be, who you shouldn't be. Watch out for those people over there, watch out for those people over there, watch out for that nation over there, watch out. And you're told all this stuff when you're a little kid. And then you try to fit into that picture. We try to fit into this picture of who we are. Because it told us who we were, right? And when I run, you guys do the 4 agreements around here? I'm sure. It's a pretty popular book. He talks about our awareness. He says that we're all dreaming. This is all a dream. That we have the sleeping dream, we're asleep. We have a waking dream, we're awake. And right now, we're in the waking dream. And he said, but really what our dream is, I love that because he says, right now in this moment, sitting here in this room, this beautiful sanctuary, this is nothing but a dream. Doesn't that sound good? Just dreaming, that's all. Kind of blows your mind for a second to think about it, right? But our dream is our perception, right? And Don Wells talks about this in the 4 agreements. Your perception, my perception is different than everybody else's in this room. Everybody has a little bit different angle of the way they see themselves, the way they see the world. Everybody. But when we're born, we're taught, this is who you are, this is who you're not, this is who you should be, this is who you shouldn't be, right? But then sometime, one day, we stumble upon a science mind services community, right? And it starts asking us these questions of, who are you really? Right? Who are you really? Who really, are you what you were told you were? Right? Or are you something greater than that? You're something deeper than that. You're something more than that, which you've been told. Right? So this awareness, the first stage of awareness, we start to question, who am I? Right? Who am I? And this awareness thing keeps growing and expanding as we continue to ask that question. Maybe you've heard this already too. No matter how young or old we are, we're always growing, we're always evolving, we're always expanding. This is true? Yeah. This awareness thing is always growing, always expanding, isn't it? Right? So who we thought we were yesterday is not no longer who we are. Right? Every day, what we were yesterday, what we experienced today is over. Right? Some idea of what may or may not happen in the future, who we think who we are, who we will not be in the future, is some projection, some fantasy in our head. Right? Who we think we are, who we think we won't be, or won't, right? So all we really have, all of it is really real. I know you probably already know this. Is what? This exact moment right here, right now. This is all that's real. Right? Isn't that beautiful? Right? So when we start to practice getting into this, in touch with this, in alignment with our true and essential self, we can start to ask ourselves these questions. Why do we think we are who we think we are? Or why do we think we're not who we think we are not? Right? And if you think about being human is very complex. You notice that? As human beings are very complex. No? Yeah, have you noticed that? And we have many parts of us. We have many different labels, many different identifications, many different aspects of who we are, parts of us. I was doing a group not too long ago. We were talking about the reasons why we identify the way we identify as a person. And so we made this whole list of, well, I'm a man, or you're a woman, right? We had labels like that. We had labels and identifications for our physical shape, size, gender, all that stuff, right? We have labels and identifications around the work that we've done, our careers, right? We have labels and roles that we've had around that kind of thing. Being a mother or a father, brother or sister, we have roles in the family, the familial roles, right? We have all these roles that we have in our world that we live in, right? And again, people have told us who we are, who we're not, who we should be, who we should be, who we were growing up. And so what happens is, at some point, we see, well, this we get labeled the color of our skin, we get labeled the way we look, and we get all these labels and identifications. You notice that? We get labeled young and old. And so I have this group I do a whole forum on all these different labels, all these identifications that we have. Even our personality is a label and identification. You notice that? And so we go through this whole list of the many different labels and identifications we have, including the roles we have at work, our money that we have or don't have, financial or socioeconomic status, right? Our careers, education, our gender, our sexual orientation, our race, our nationality, right? We have all these different parts of us, right? But the problem is when we over-identify. When we over-identify with a particular part of us, this causes all kinds of suffering. You know, you can see, if you look at the world, you can see that all the suffering in the world happens because people over-identify with who they think they are, right? So if you think about what causes most of the worst.
Nationalism.
What's that?
Economics, nationalism.
Nationalism, that causes, what else causes conflict and worse? Religion, right? That causes, anything else you think of? Miscommunication, right? Some kind of percent, right? What else?
Politics.
Fear, who said that? Fear, right? What else?
Lack of limitation.
Lack of limitation, or the concept of lack of limitation, right? And then over-identification with that. And race causes all kinds of, we have many things that cause so many problems. We can see what's going on in our own country. We won't mention the word political. I told you just did. Right? So it's not the religion that's the problem. It's not the nationality, the race, or the political affiliation. That's not the problem, is it? What's the problem? An over-identification. I'm right, you're wrong. Right? Yeah? You can see it. The religions have spiritual truths that are meaning, the initial intention of all religion, the universal intention of religion is to point the way, isn't it? Right? To point the way, help us to find, to connect, to better awareness of that God. So what if we could just, for a minute, what if we could just erase all that? What if just for a few minutes we didn't have any labels, no identifications, no roles we had to uphold? And how about this? What if you had nothing you had to prove and nothing you had to defend to be who you are? Nothing you have to prove, nothing you have to defend to be who you are. Right? So in this beautiful meditation this morning, you guys, Anita did. Where's Anita? Oh, there's she did a beautiful meditation this morning, and it seemed like it was a kind of a treatment we did in her somehow, you know, and it was just really beautiful. And I was thinking about, you know, this awareness thing. We could just remove all these labels, all these identifications, all these roles, over-identifications, and then what if we just had none of that? What's left? Right? Who are you without any of that? Do you notice what's left? What's left is a sense of oneness. There's no walls. There's no separation. There's no fear. Fear is a big one. Deepak Chopra was talking about that last night. The diseases in our body are caused by fears. Fear causes the amygdala to kick in your brain. You're very scientific. And the stress, stress is what causes almost all the diseases that we have. And it's this subtle fears that we have that we walk around with every day because we're afraid to look someone else in the eye. We're afraid to, step out in a new way in our lives. There's all these subtle fears. We're afraid about the world. There's so many fears. But see, when you step into alignment with what Anita helped us align with this morning, when you step into that sanctuary, that space, and that's what she really did. She helped create this space to just be. To be in alignment with the light of wholeness that is always here and it is who we truly are. All that other stuff is human identification, right? The human dynamic. What did Deepak Chopra call it something? Let's see where did I put that? The human construct, that's what it's like. The human construct. It's human constructs. Who we think we are, who we think we're not, who we should or should not be, right? This is normal that we have that stuff, right? But it's so important for us to really try to find some of self-awareness, to get to a deeper level, not necessarily a higher level, but it's a deeper level. It's already here. We're just getting in alignment with what already is, you see. We don't have to fix anything. We're getting in alignment with what already is. And we're getting in alignment with that natural state of wholeness. It doesn't have any of those human constructs. Now, let's example. Does anybody have a dog or a cat? Aren't they wonderful? And, if you don't have a dog, okay, you better run them, right? Does a dog or a cat care when you come home at the end of the night how much money you make? Does the dog care if you are the CEO of the organization you work with, or if you're working, at some service level, right? Does it care? The dog doesn't care. What does the dog care about? Getting his cookie bone. Right? But the dog cares about how you treat it. Dogs remember a little, don't they? Right? So if you're mean to the dog will remember to be careful around you, right? Or the dog is abused, they're more timid, right? Because they remember the trauma or whatever happened. But the interesting thing between a dog and a human is when a dog is hurt or someone treats them mean, they seem to not hold on to it. Right? Why? They're living in the present moment. But if you come home all angry, you start kicking things around, right? They remember that trauma, right? They start cowering in a corner of it, right? The difference between a dog and a human will plot for 5 years, So the dog doesn't have any human construct. So the dog wisdom, and the human knows when you come home, the dog is always happy to see you. It's living in the presence, divine presence. Deepak did this amazing thing yesterday, from the microcosm to the macrocosm. He asked this question, who are you? And he did this beautiful example. They did like a time lapse of the baby from the time it's conceived until it's going through the womb and all the different changes in the body. It's so beautiful to see that. Have you watched that recently? If you haven't watched that, I invite you to Google that. Just see if you can find a video where you can see what the baby's conceiving. All the cells start to split, and he did a little timeline of what's happening. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's fascinating, this amazing, beautiful body that is created out of just, it starts with the emerging, right? And he brought us all the way to the infinitude of the cosmos. We live in this galaxy called the Milky Way, right? Does anyone know? I didn't get that part. I think it takes us a few 100,000 light years to travel from one side of our galaxy to the other, right? If you're flying at the speed of light, it would take you a few 100,000 years to get from one side of our galaxy to the other. Is that true, Linda? I heard something like that, right? I should look at that science before I start talking about it. But I know it takes a long time. Hundreds of thousands of light years. Okay. And that's going to start my Milky Way galaxy. There are trillions upon trillions of galaxies in this universe with couple stars in every one of these galaxies. I mean, it's fascinating when you think about the infinity of this universe we live in. You took this from the microcosm to the macrocosm. And he said, well, who are you? You're a miracle. Each one of us is such a beautiful miracle of life. Each and every one of us, the true essential self, is an absolute beautiful miracle of life, of wholeness, of the divine spark. Right? Each of us is that, I'm going to take a little bit out of the inner songs, science of mind here. You like that, right? I love science of mind because it's so accurate. This is my work study book because my dog gave me that one. I was reading my nice science of mind book, but we got a hound puppy, and he decided to go on the table one day, pull my science of mind book out, and nibble on it for a little while, and tear the front cover off it. But anyway, I was joking around with my dog. I said, you can take the dog out of the pound, you can't take the pound out of the dog. You can pup it, the pound, take the pound out of the pup. It's kind of our nature too, isn't it? We have underneath all that, right, is our natural innate state of divine. Here it is. And you know, Aristotle talks about the Christ light, throughout the science of mind, and he talks about the Christ light as being your natural state of wholeness. It's the light within us that is natural, or it's our natural state of wholeness. He says that the Christ awakens, the divine spark shot from the central fires of the universal flame is able to warm other souls by the radiance of his own self-unfoldment. We give only what we have. The only shadow we cast is of ourselves. The shadow lengthens as we realize the great presence in which we live, move, and have our being. Who would entertain this Christ light must invite him in. He does not come unbidden, nor sit at the man's table an unwelcome guest. Neither does the divine presence force itself upon any. The presence stands at the door. He stands at the door and knocks. We must open if we are to receive. Let us learn to be still and let truth speak through us. To be still and know the inner light shines. Right? That universal flame. I love the way he talks. Right? From the central fires, it's this spark, divine spark, shot from that central flame. Right? I think I saw a little banner downstairs in your meeting area. It says something about the divine spark. And so, our job is to align with what it really is, to align with our true essential nature. Isn't that what we're doing here? What a beautiful spiritual community we have here. Where you come together. We support each other on this path. It's so much, it's like if you're going to start a barbecue, and you had one charcoal, and you lit that charcoal, and you really fired up that one charcoal. And you may be able to heat up that a little bit, maybe able to cook a little bit, right? But if you have a dozen charcoals, right, and you start firing all of those charcoals together, what happens, right? The fire intensifies, doesn't it? Right? And so that's kind of what spiritual community is all about, isn't it? We're actually helping ourselves awaken, helping each other awaken that divine spark within by coming together and creating this divine brilliance, this fire within, right? We're supporting each other. That's what spiritual community is about, isn't it? It's about supporting each other, uplifting each other, right? Frank told me to tie my shoe before I come up here. We need the support. And so, there's many ways we support each other, right? So, I want to get to is someone going to help me keep time? Someone help me keep time? Somebody? Yeah. Okay, am I doing good? Okay. Give me like a 5-minute warning or something. Because I can sometimes go off. So, all right. So this divine. So, what kind of getting what I'm talking about? Now, I want to ask you a question. But before I ask you the question, I'm going to tell you the answers. Okay. Let me make sure. Okay. So the answer is yes. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you aware?
Yes.
This is what we're doing here, right? We are aware. We're conscious beings, we're aware. And here's the interesting thing. We're aware, and those of us who are in this room, in the science of mind, we are conscious that we're aware. When I walk into Starbucks, there's a lot of unconscious people walking around. I don't know if you know this. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. It's just that a lot of people walk around completely unconscious that they're aware that there's, But as a human being, we have this most amazing capacity to observe something and be conscious that we're observing it. Right? This is the great gift of being human. This is why we can learn and grow and evolve, right? Because we can observe something and be conscious that we're observing it. And if I ask you right now, could you observe your body sitting in a particular spot you find yourself sitting, in a particular posture position you're sitting? And as soon as I said that, you became more aware of your body sitting, right? Yeah. And not only that, you were conscious. As I said that, you were conscious that you were observing your body sitting here, right? This is a great gift, isn't it? Most people never ask themselves that question ever. They never are conscious that they're conscious. If I ask you right now, are you conscious right now in this moment of the thoughts that you're thinking right now? Before I said that, maybe you weren't so conscious. Right? But as I said that, then right away the conscious awareness comes. That awareness, of course, and I know you all know this, is always there, right? The majority of the race of people don't get this, unfortunately. You know, it's amazing to me that we don't have a full house at every one of our research communities around the world because of what we're teaching. Isn't it kind of amazing? We teach such beautiful truth, and in such a beautiful, universal way, and it's so empowering, isn't it? It's so empowering for ourselves, and it's empowering for those around us. We empower our youth. It's such an uplifting, empowering, enlightening experience that we're creating, co-creating this space to lift up the soul of our hearts and to give that into the world in beautiful and unexpected ways and new and, vibrant ways. We're here to share, to express what amazing teaching we have, because we're teaching the laws and the principles of how it works, how we can use it, and how we can really truly live this fully self-expressed life. Right? That's what we're teaching here. Why are these places full up? What do you think it is? So we're boring? No, I don't think that's what it is. Because it takes work. It takes conscious work to do what we're doing, and it's not easy, and it's not always fun. And we have to look at ourselves, and that's not always pretty. Right? But we have to look at ourselves, and that takes work, and most people don't want to do it. They'd rather walk around and they're unconscious. I'm not picking on all those other people around here. I'm just saying, right? And I'm not saying that other people don't come around, I'm not saying that. There's many, many paths, right? But, this idea of community coming together this way is such an empowering thing. It does kind of baffle my mind that we don't have this overflowing thing happening everywhere, right, in our teaching, because it is such an amazing teaching. So I'm going to ask you another question. And it's the same answer. Okay. But I'm going to ask you to wait to answer the question until I raise my hand. Okay? Are you aware? That space right there is presence. Did you notice that? Did you feel that? There's something, we were present when we were waiting to actually answer. There's this space, we gave ourselves, we were fully present in the moment. Right? And that's what we're doing here. That leads to full self-awareness, full self-expression. That is our true self. The awareness that we just experienced. And that was thanks to Deepak Chopra last night. I've been teaching this stuff for a long time. I work with teenagers, I work with addiction people, and been a minister for many years. And last night, Deepak did that. Just that space. And I needed to do that this morning in meditation. This space. We have to create that space to stop. To stop and align with what's right here. That's our work. A lot of people don't want to do that work. Meditating, getting into that place of alignment. There's a resistance to it. I don't know what it is. You notice that? Not just me, right? I have this resistance. I'll talk about it, okay? I have this resistance sometimes to getting into doing morning practice. And actually, I have quite often, almost every morning. It's a resistance. I don't know where it comes from. You do too? Oh, I myself. I should raise her up. She's only me. It's only her and I who resistance. So we have this resistance. What is it that we have this resistance to do things are good for us? What's up with that? I don't know. I finally admit that I'm not a morning person. I don't know, right? But I don't beat up myself about the resistance. But I face the resistance. And it's not always fun. I don't want to do it. It's like going to the gym. They're like, say, I'm going to get in great shape. I'm going to go to the gym or go for a walk or wherever you work out, right? hit cardio or whatever. It's like, I'm going to do this, I'm really going to do it, I'm going to do it 5 times a week. And one day it's like, oh, I don't think I can do it this morning. And then you next day go, not really. Right? But then you turn the car in the direction of the gym. The first act of moving through the resistance, right? Next day you get to the gym, you still want to get out of the car, and then you get out anyway. And there's this resistance. But once you're there, and you do whatever you work on, you're just going for a walk, and after a gym, I'm just saying an example. And, right? And you feel so good. Doesn't it feel great? It feels so good to actually move through this resistance that we have. And actually do something good with us. It's a human dynamic, I think. For whatever reason, there's this human dynamic that we have this resistance. So I want to do a little practice with you. Is Kim come here? She's talking about meditation, so I actually prepared meditation for you guys. Should be about 5 minutes. Might be a little longer, okay? I'll try to be close. So you get what I'm saying, right, today? This true self, and as we start to follow this true self, we become invited to do what's next. Either once we get into alignment, there's something that starts to happen. There's an enthusiasm, right? Enthusiasm that starts asking us, hey, step out, give your gifts, start giving your gifts and talents in the world, right? Share, right? There's an action that goes along with this, right? When we get into alignment, we're not trying or forcing anything. It's more about we're living from this place of awareness, from this place of our true self, and it's yearning to express itself. This almost calls it the divine urge. The divine urge. Right? So we're going to align in that true essential self. Okay? I'm going to start with that singing bowl. I want to begin, though, with asking a question. And it's the same answer. But this time I'm going to ask you not to answer it. I'm going to ask you just to be in it. Okay? So I invite you to just bring your attention inward. And take a few breaths. And in this place of just stopping and just being, just for this 5 minutes, we don't have to fix anything. We don't have to figure anything out. We don't have to prove anything or defend anything. To be loved, or to be liked, or to be good enough. As we create this space now to align with our true, cosmic, true essential self. The infinite self. Are you aware? So as we ask in the state of alignment with our true nature, we can say, yes, I am aware. We could be open and humble and teachable. We could be open to the guidance that comes from within and from without. And as we live in this place of alignment, we become truly self-expressed. We are invited to follow what is next, to be and to become all that we're here to be and become. But it's not a forcing, it is an allowing. Nothing to prove, nothing to defend. It's about being.